Ready to go.
You and me, a dream team.
Very good choice, my friend. Let's go for the title defense.
Welcome to the traditional and famous Norris Ring here today, the little DTM zone, Monaco. And today I definitely can say the sun is burning and everything is prepared for the 5th round of the DTM 2013. And as you can see, I have a very special guest next to me, 43 DTM wins, and he is Mr. DTM. It's Bernd Schneider. Good to see you today again.
Thank you. It's always something special being here at Norris Ring. And now we got just normal weather for Norris Ring conditions, and looking forward now. Will be a hot race from temperature side, but also in between Bruno and Wickens, and also Gary will be a hard fight, and I'm really looking forward for that.
I think all our spectators are looking forward to this 83 hot laps today. You're joined by so many former DTM legends, so actually you're supporting and remembering the 25th years and anniversary of Mercedes in DTM. Who gonna make it today? Will we see an 11 win for Mercedes?
Definitely crossing very hard my fingers for Gary Paffett, because he's looks like the moment the #1 in the team. But he got some young guns behind, and we will see how Wickens going to do it, because it's his first pole. And with Bruno, he got a very experienced guy next to him. The BMW looks very strong in the race. It will be not an easy race, and also we'll be interested to see which strategy which driver going to take, because with the BAM tires, it's a big play around what you can do using them in the beginning or in the end, how long they're going to ride, because the temperature quite high. Many things to see, many things to come. Looking forward for it.
Thank you very much, Bernd Schneider, and have a lot of fun with the 5th round. And now it's up to our experts, Andrew and Dave. Have a lot of fun.
Thanks very much, Eve, and nice to see Bernd Schneider there, but we're going to check out the racetrack first with the Hankook animation, this little 1.6 mile track, 2.3 kilometers street circuit on the outskirts of the city of Nuremberg. Off they go then, and it's a big run down to the first hairpin bend. This is the famous Grundig corner, very tight hairpin where we've seen many incidents in the past, and where Gary Paffett got turned around here a year ago. Then it's accelerating up then to the S-bend, a very tight right and left. It's called the Schuller hairpin. It's named after the ice cream sponsor that backs that corner in the main grandstand. Then we go towards the other hairpin, the Lake hairpin. We go through this fast right-hander, and we're right up here at speeds over 140, 150 miles an hour, right down to first gear for the second of the hairpins, which is a little bit more open, the Lake hairpin, and there's a flat-out left after that. And that is about it as you run back towards the start-finish line. Very quick laps down in the sort of 48-second mark. It's all action round here. Fast sections, and of course the 2 hairpin bends, 2.3 kilometers, 190 kilometers.
I'm here together with Gary Paffett in the Mercedes Hospitality, DTM champion 2005, and back in the DTM, remembering the weekend at Lausitzring Ring. You finished first, you won, and I think that was a big moment for you, and actually I think really a lot of tailwind here for the Norris Ring.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, before that, the first 3 races were tough, were difficult. We struggled in qualifying, and then at Lausitzring, the car was amazing in qualifying especially, and in the race we managed to finish the job and get a victory, which was much needed for the team and for me. So it's you know, closed us up a lot in the championship, which is great, and we're really in the championship fight now, and obviously that sort of carried over to yesterday in qualifying. So
What were the improvements after Lausitzring also here to Norrisring? Because it really worked out for the qualifying. It's Robert Wickens on P1 and you're in third position.
I think, you know, we have some young guys in the team and I think they're just getting stronger and stronger each weekend. Robert's had some good results. He was fourth on the grid at Lausitzring, so for him to get his first pole position yesterday was fantastic. I mean, he did a really good job. He was really strong the whole day yesterday, and it's going to be an interesting race.
What are your expectations for today? Because I remember last year, the first turn, there was some kind of collision there. You were in pole position. Today you're starting from P3. What is possible? Will you give a big present to Mercedes for the 25 years of DTM?
We've got a lot of anniversaries this weekend. You know, today's going to be interesting. Maybe it's better not to start on pole position after what happened last year. So I'm not too disappointed to be P3, but you know, we have to try and get around the first lap and get into the race. And I think we've got a great chance of winning the race. I mean, from P3, obviously, we want to be definitely finishing on the podium. We've got to try and finish in front of Bruno, really, to close the championship. And to win the race, to win my third race here would be incredible. And obviously, for Mercedes-Benz, we've had 10 wins in a row. So to make it 11 wins in a row would be incredible. You know, we're celebrating 25 years of Mercedes in the DTM this weekend. And to think I've been here for 10 of them is pretty incredible. So.
Wow, what a birthday, so good luck for you for the race today. Actually, it will be a hot battle as used here at the Norrisring, so we'll see us for the race later on.
Let's check out the starting grid, and for the first time ever, it's an all-Canadian front row with Robert Wickens, his first pole, and Bruno Spengler, winner here in 06, 07 and 11. Then it's Gary Paffett, we just heard from him, and Edo Mortara, the only Audi in the top four. Then it's Pascal Wehrlein, and look at that, Andy Priaulx up in 6th place, equaling his best ever qualifying in the DTM. Then it's Daniel Juncadella, the young man from Spain, the F3 champ, certainly settling down well in the DTM, and Felipe Albuquerque. Then it's the former champion, Matthias Ekstrom. Remember, this has not been a happy hunting ground for Audi, and Christian Vitoris. The row behind that is the young Frenchman, Adrian Tambay, with Marco Wittmann doing a good job for BMW. Then it's Timo Scheider, former champion, and Jamie Green, of course, 4 times a winner around here, but not a great lap for yesterday. And then Augusto Farfus and Timo Glock, both in BMWs. Martin Tomczyk, the former champion, starts 17th with Joey Hand alongside him, the Californian. And then it's Dirk Werner, I believe, comes from this area, and Roberto Merri of Spain. And then at the back, Mike Rockenfeller and Miguel Molina. Let's go down to Eve with the pole sitter.
Yes, and 5 Mercedes in the top 10, and here he made it, Robert Wickens. He's on pole position, his first pole position. Are you more nervous before the start today?
No, actually, this is what I live for. You know, it's the pressure situations of motorsports that makes it fun. So I'm really excited. Hopefully, I can make a clean start and yeah, go from there.
And are you flirting with the podium, or do you say today it has to be my first DTM win?
We'll have to see what happens in the opening stint. You know, it's a long race, anything can happen, but a win would be really nice. And
it's a complete Canadian row, so good luck for you both, and enjoy the race. Thanks, Robert. Back to you guys.
Thanks very much, and so many questions, Dave Richardson, unanswered because they have not been able to try the option tyres, and quite a lot of people starting on those, including Wickens and Spengler and Paffett. Mortara, though, will start on the standards. He'll be on a different strategy.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Tyres going to play a part. Of course, the DRS going to play a part as well, yeah. Andrew, here at the Norrisring. It is a short circuit, isn't it? Let's not lose sight of that fact. And, you know, there are a couple of places where potentially that can be used, but, of course, they've not been able to test with that.
No, they haven't been able to test with that, but it's certain that they will use it on the run down to the Grundig hairpin. That's where I'm told. I'm also told that the option tyre is probably worth about 0.5, 0.6 of a second, and that it has considerable longevity, that tyre will go a long way here. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. So drivers making their final preparations. There is Ekstrom, and there is the boss of it all, Mr. Alfrecht of the DTM ITR. So everything set up here at the Norrisring for a great race. So again, just looking at Albuquerque's car, Felipe Albuquerque is another of the three men near the front who have decided to start on the standard rubber, and I just wonder if they'll make a pretty quick dash as soon as the window opens to go on to the options. Remember, they have to run on both those tyres during both the two tyres during the race, and they have to make the 2 pit stops as well, and the DRS will come on board. I think we'll be able to use that after lap 4. There you are again. You see the tyre choices. The people with the orange rings, they are starting on the options, and quite a mixture of strategies here. And again, be interested to see if Jamie Green can do anything from that 14th slot. Jamie Green, who's been so magnificent around this circuit when he was driving for Mercedes, of course, in the past, and winner in 08, 09, 10, and in 12 last year when he overtook Tomczyk on the last corner in wet conditions to win that race in absolutely brilliant style. So, see what happens there. But meanwhile, checking out this hot day and the temperature 30.6. Now we can go back to Yves, who's with a couple of the team bosses.
I'm here together with Jens Marquardt and Dieter Gass. Jens, actually, Bruno Spengler is starting from P2, and Andrew Prieur, he did a fantastic job, his best qualifying this season so far. So will we see also during the race a great performance like last year here at the Norris Ring?
Well, that's obviously what we hope for. Coming from second into first is not such a long distance in theory, but today I think it's going to be a tough one. It's really hot. And we're going to see what the tires are going to do, the option tire, and hopefully lots of overtaking with DRS. But I think, first of all, we need to get all safe and good through the first corner. That's a challenge here, and then we'll see.
And I think there's also another brand who is really challenging and want to break the dominance of Mercedes here at the Norris Ring. What is your strategy for today?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we try that, and I think we are in a different race compared to the three guys in front. They're starting on option tires. We're starting on the standard tires. So the target is to keep him out of the traffic, put the option tires on quite early in the race, and then we're going to try and push for the guys running in front. And once it comes to the next pit stops, we're going to see how it pans out.
Everyone wants to win here, the Norris Ring from BMW and Audi, so have a lot of fun. See you, Andrew and Dave. It's up to you again.
Yeah, and of course Audi want to win so badly because it's very much their local track. Ingolstadt is just up the road. We drove past it on Friday on the way to the circuit. It's only about 30 miles away. And of course we had this long run of 10 victories by Mercedes right on the home soil of Audi. It really sticks in their throat. So let's see if they can do something today. And they were rather hoping that Jamie Green might be the man to do that. But starting back where he is, well, who knows? But he will start on the option, incidentally. So some different strategies coming up, and going to be fascinating to see what goes on. And of course early on somebody is going to try and get a breakaway at the beginning, see if they can break that 2-second barrier, which means that once you're 2 seconds behind, then you can't use the DRS on the person in front of you. But round here most people are going to be on the DRS most of the time, I should think. Remember, they can press the DRS and then use it for as much of the rest of the lap as you can, but if they hit the brakes, then of course it switches itself off automatically. Just saw people there down on the Pedalos on the famous lake in this historic area. Here's the championship points, and Mike Rockenfeller, the man who sits at the top of that table starting on the back of the grid, actually took a penalty to start there. That was a strategic penalty because the team Phoenix pulled their car out of the Parc Fermé early so they could work on it. They knew they'd get a penalty. But Rockenfeller really having a very poor qualifying. He actually was in 19th place. Spengler also on 59, and then Paffett on 47 with that win at the previous race. And then Vitoris has had a solid season. And then Farfus, of course, who started the year with a win. Bruno Spengler, he's been brilliant round here in the past as well, with the wins in 06, 07 and 2011. What about his chances, Dave?
Well, you can never rule him out, can you? I must say that lining up alongside Robert Wickens, how cool was Robert Wickens when Yves talked to him? Just down on the grid. It's absolutely, these are the challenges of motorsport. This is why I love it. And, you know, he is in it for the game, isn't he? He is going for the win. There's no question about that. But Bruno Spengler, of course, ultimately so determined. He will be so focused. But let's not forget, Gary Paffett is just on the second row of the grid, and he needs that lead.
Yeah, so they're off on the warm-up lap. And I should just mention that Rob Wickens scored his first DTM points last year, of course, with his maiden season, his rookie season. He scored his first points here at this little Norris Ring street circuit. Just down from there is a football stadium and the parking spaces you see for that stadium. And on board there with Mike Rockenfeller's car right at the back. I suspect Rocky will come through to a degree. There's Bernd Schneider, and Norbert Haug makes an appearance. Only the second time we've seen him at a DTM race since he gave up the Mercedes-Benz Motorsport boss. He was at Hockenheim at the first race on the Thursday, I believe. But this is the first time we've seen him on a race day. I wonder what thoughts are going through his mind. Toto Wolff, of course, now running that operation. Again, the starting grid just showing different tyres that people are running. And Bernd Schneider still racing. He's not completely retired, still races in SLS. Just had a quick look down there on the lake hairpin. It's not quite as tight, and when you come out, there's that left-hand corner, but they're still flat out accelerating from that almost stopping hairpin there.
Just we should just say, as the cars pull into grid, what a sterling performance from Andy Priaulx. Qualifying as well, Andrew. You've known Andy for many, many years, and you know he needs this confidence boost, doesn't he?
He certainly does, and that's exactly what it is for him. And starting in 6th place, I got to keep my fingers crossed for the man from the Channel Islands, the 4 times World Touring Car Champion, whose best DTM result was in his very first race. So there is Toto Wolff and Norbert Haug shoulder to shoulder. Interesting stuff. And Dr. Wolfgang Ulrich, the overall head of Audi Sport, Mr. Dieter Gasser, we heard from, is the head of the DTM. So the orange car carrying the colours of the company that makes leaf blowers and chainsaws and all that stuff. Been a long time sponsor of Mercedes, but the lights are going on, and it's 3 red, go 4 red, go 5 red, and Verdi, green, off they go. Adam Wickens makes a great start, and Wickens gets away from Spengler. And what about Paffett? Paffett is down about 5th there. Paffett didn't make a brilliant start, did he? And they almost come to a halt round this very tight hairpin, and we've got cars just limping through there almost.
The blistering start came from Wehrlein, Andrew.
Yep, Wehrlein made a good move, didn't he? Wehrlein into 3rd place from that.
So Wehrlein is 4th. Paffett going through past Andy Priaulx now.
And Timo Scheider's season. Timo Scheider just limping away from the line. I don't know if he hasn't got full gears. And we've got the safety car out. Now, was that out? I think that must have been out because Timo Scheider stopped on the grid. What a terrible season that man is having. The double champion. And they're going to be picked up there by that safety car, look. And everybody weaving, try and keep some temperature in the tyres, but with track temperature of 35.7, it's not difficult.
So safety car will pick them up then, and the order from, well, it's just one completed lap, isn't it, before the safety car picks them up. Wickens, Spengler, then Mortara and Wehrlein with Paffett down there in P5 and Andy Priaulx P6.
And Green moved up a slot or 2, didn't he? Green, yeah, 1 slot actually, up into 11th. Timo Scheider, disaster for him. And back in the field, Rockenfeller picked up a couple of places. So, Wickens, Spengler, Mortara. And Timo Scheider's race last. So let's just watch the Scheider black car towards the back. There he is, stalled on the grid.
Everyone avoided, and what a start from Pascal Wehrlein.
Now, I think Scheider must have had something break in the transmission.
Quick move from Rockenfeller there to avoid.
Yeah, maybe lost the engine and they can't restart it. Let's have a look at the replay from some different angles. See, Gary just wasn't, I think Gary maybe had too much wheel spin actually. The stranded Timo Scheider.
Yes, and Pascal was able to get past Paffett, wasn't he? Sandwiched
was
there
it? Yeah, there was a little bit of rubbing of paint there. Gary, yeah.
You're right. I think he spun up, didn't he?
Yeah, and I think Fairline barged his way through a little bit.
Safety car coming in this lap, and the race will resume then, Andrew. Lap 2 out of 83. Robert Wickens leads. Spengler in second place. Then it's Mortara. Then it's Verline, Paffett, Prio, Ekstrom, Vitoris, Tombay, and Albuquerque as we go racing once again.
Off we go then round this tricky little street circuit, and we ride on board with Jamie Green, the 4 times winner here. Call him Mr. Norris Ring, but doesn't look as if he's going to live up to that epithet today. As Wickens lead from Verline. On board with Bruno Spengler. Spengler fighting for that championship, equal points with Rockenfeller at the top of the table. Oh, drive-through penalty for car number 3.
Okay, so Wickens, Spengler, Mortara. Then it is Verline and Paffett. So Rob Wickens leading the race then. The BMW Bank car of Bruno Spengler we're on board with right now, right on his tail of Rob Wickens though, but Robert was certainly cool and collected. Just at the start of the race we see Paffett dive into the pit lane to serve that penalty.
They say it's for a jump start. I didn't see that jump start. We believe the cars have sensors on them. We saw this here 3 years ago, was it, when Ralf Schumacher was on the pole, and I never saw his jump start, and he got it. So this is a disaster for Gary Paffett. Let's have a look. Yeah, he did, just moved it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Did he? Or did he?
Well,
see, the lights went out.
The irony was he actually had a poor start, didn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't benefit from it at all. But
maybe that's because he just lifted off because he thought, oh, I'm jumping the start here. Well, it was very, very marginal, I have to say that. He went before everyone else, but was he just quicker off the gun? Was it a real drag racing start? But whatever, he served the penalty now. Gary Paffett will go back to 21st place, trying to work his way back through the field.
Well, as expected, Andrew, a lot of cars diving in early on.
Yep. So Mortaro, we thought would be one of them. People are on the standard tyres coming in.
Molina getting a penalty for a jump start as well.
Oh, that was all a bit tight. Taurus, great 3-0 stop.
Meantime, at the front of the pack here, Robert Wickens and Bruno Spengler then getting away from the rest of them. Bruno Spengler still tucked in behind Rob Wickens. It's Mercedes leads from BMW. We're on lap 5 of 83 as they cross the start-finish line once again. Lots of cars diving into the pits.
Yeah, I thought I saw Verline going in as well. Verline is on the standard tyres. So it's going to shake it all up with 2 Canadians first and second in this race at the moment. And look at that, we've got Stampede down the pit lane.
Problem with the gun for Verline.
Yeah, oh, disaster for Verline. That's going to lose him 4 or 5 places. I don't know how long that stop was, 5 or 6 seconds. You see there, he's able to... Well, he loses 2 in the pits there.
Yeah, that was a real problem with that wheel gun, wasn't it?
They practice so much with this and check those wheel guns over. Timo Glock, another one who stopped in the pits. Tombay in we saw as well.
Okay, so the difference between Wickens and Spengler is just 0.3, and of course DRS will be enabled now, Andrew.
Yeah, and what we have to say here is that Gary Paffett's stop, of course, doesn't count as one of the 2 must stops, some mandatories. Prio in 3rd place at the moment, but some 3 seconds behind Spengler. And Ekstrom's 4th, and then it's Jamie Green up to 5th place.
So some great shots from on board of these cars then as they around this tight Norris Ring circuit where they move from tarmac to paving slabs at one point to tight hairpins. See Marco Wittmann's car right in front of us here from the camera that's virtually bolted onto the split-up.
Now, a few questions are going to be answered in the next few laps. How long? Oh, look at this, Dave. Spengler got alongside Wickens, but couldn't make it stick down to that hairpin. 2 Canadians together, Mercedes versus BMW. two questions be answered. How long will these stickier option tyres last? And how much DRS effect will we have? And can Spengler use that DRS to vault past Wickens? And of course, next lap, Wickens can reply through the Lake hairpin.
Well, he's certainly right on him, isn't he?
And another move looking down at was Whitman, wasn't it, I think?
So there's Whitman.
Yeah, Whitman moving up a place.
Green in there and Farfus too.
Yeah, again down at the hairpin. Wickens fends off more experienced, in DTM terms at least, Spengler. Wickens with a super career in single-seaters behind him. And Andy Priaulx hanging in there in third place.
Yes. Well, he certainly was a renewed Andy Priaulx in qualifying yesterday. And he's got P3 at the moment. Go on board with Roberto Merry then.
And Merry trying to get down the inside of Farfus. 10 of the 83 laps already in the book. Gary Paffett up to 13th already. Part of that through the pit stops. Farfus down the inside.
Got that judged perfectly now.
That's Green there with the Red Bull car with the yellow markings on it. Green getting stuck in. He knows how to overtake round this place. Proved it so many times before. Green on the back of Farfus. And Tomczyk there going wide, and maybe a bit of a rub there with Green and Tomczyk.
Great to be able to watch this from on board Danny Juncadella's car. They're sitting just behind, watching these two absolutely side by side, Andrew.
They are. And now onto the binders. And Green down the inside there, and that works for him. Oh. Tomczyk hits the barrier, hits it quite hard, and I think that's the end of Tomczyk's race. And Martin Tomczyk's awful season has another poor chapter in it, as Danny Juncadella got a bit of a view of that. And Green running in 8th place now. Tomczyk limps in.
Well, that wheel, the front not turning at all. That's all locked up from damage, and here we can see it again, Andrew.
Yeah, he hasn't got much room left, had he? He put himself on the outside. Jamie Dean didn't give him any room at all, and followed through there by the others. And Bernd Schneider says, well, I'm not sure about that. Norbert Haug discussing it. Yeah, well, it was the... Started with Green, and look, the right yeah, so the suspension's
safety car
smacked up in there, and safety car again. Everybody gets a bit of a breather, and that is to the advantage of Gary Paffett to a degree, I should think.
Who's just dived in.
Oh, he's dived in, yeah. So he might get out though, and this is not a quick pit stop. Look, what's going on? There's disaster down there for Paffett. This is Paffett comes out.
Well, that really didn't work well.
No, that was a disaster for Paffett. Not sure what was going on there. That team's usually so good with their pit stops, and a load more dive in. And the people on the options are coming in, and they're going on to the...
Both Wickens and Spengler in at the same time.
Yep. So those options aren't lasting as well as we thought.
And there's going to be a race. Is there? No, Wickens has got his nose in front.
Yeah, Wickens got his nose in front, and out they go together.
Academic a bit because they're behind the safety car anyway, but...
Yeah, all decided to take that chance of switching on to the standard tyres. The options apparently not performing as well as we had predicted. Remember, they never ran on them in practice or qualifying. It was a suck it and see. And so here we are, this race down the pit lane, and very nearly a touch. And Rob Wickens, only his second year in the DTM, but has earned a lot of respect from the old hands. Martin Tomczyk is not going to be happy, I can tell you. He's going to storm out of there. the tall German who won the championship in the year-old Audi. A couple of years back now. It's been a sad time since then. Went to BMW, yet to win a race for them. And so Mortara is in the lead. I was being waved through. There is Martin Tomczyk. Walks away just constantly.
So all the cars are backed up then behind the safety car.
Well, they're trying to get them into some semblance of order here. There's
so track temperature, what we got, 36 degrees, still weaving around, aren't they?
Yeah.
But of course, a lot of those on tyres that have just come out of the pit lane, haven't they, Andrew?
Yeah. So Mortara from Wickens and Spengler. Spengler running the white roof again because it's a hot day. And then Ekstrom and Prio. As the Audi Cup car comes in. Audi sponsoring that football championship. Well, Molina is sporting a healthy beard these days. Makes a good stop. Martin Tomczyk walks precariously over those tyres. So,
well, I can't think the safety car will be out for much longer, Andrew.
No, I can't think so. Got more. And Paffett's coming in again. Well, this race is proving a nightmare for Paffett. Green is in, Rockenfeller's in. This race really been stop-start, hasn't really got underway properly yet, has it?
Not really, no. And remarkably, you know, we've seen now 2 stops from Green, Rockenfeller, Tombe, Paffett.
Just looking at the graphic we've got, Mortara still on the sticky tyres.
So
well, I say still on the sticky tyres because he's running that opposite strategy, of course. He started on the standards, now he's on the sticky ones. Wonder how long they'll last for. Taurus the next one on the option. The hand is up to 11th on the option. And Rockenfeller has made 2 stops. Well, that's interesting. Rockenfeller's made 2 stops, and I think he'll try then to go to the end on the regular tyre.
So one ball with Danny Gadella then into the...
Don't say that, but Rocky, actually, no, he's on the... If that graphic's right, they're not always right. Rocky is on the option. Surely can't make that go. He's made the 2 stops.
But that's a big ask to make that last through until...
Well, I think it's impossible.
Yeah.
Paffett's down in 15th, had such high hopes for today. We need to get this thing back and underway again. So Marshall still wave their flags. And all sorts of controversy in the Formula 3 races over this weekend. And one race had 4 different results before they finally sorted it out. Tara Wickens and Spengler down there.
You can see Tomczyk's car loaded on the low loader. Presumably that's out of harm's way.
Yeah.
And as soon as that has left the circuit, hopefully the safety car will be back in, and as you say, Andrew Marriott, will get this race sort of underway, because it hasn't really started, has it, in a funny sort of way.
Started, then we had the safety car, of course, of the problem with Timo Scheider, who appeared to break the car on the grid. And we've had this incident here. Not been a good day for the German drivers. 2 former German DTM champions out of the race already. Tara and Wickens and Spengler. Top 3. What about Matthias Ekstrom, Ricky? In a good position there in 4th.
Yep.
Just come from a couple of weekends doing rallycross events, the X Games, which was actually held in Germany in the Munich Stadium where we had the DTM show events. Finished 4th there and then had his first ever event in the European Rallycross Championship in a VW Polo, I should say. Last weekend, finished a magnificent 2nd overall. Won the semi-finals. We always said he was a great all-rounder, of course. Had his rally success in the past and raced in NASCAR and some of the street road races. Also to good effect. Safety car in this lap, that's what we want to see. Get this race rocking and rolling here at the Norris Ring. Meanwhile, still got these various pits visitors.
Yes, it's the pit lane's been a busy place, hasn't it?
Yep.
Vettorius with a 3-second stop.
Yeah, Vettorius having a very good season, isn't he? Remember, he started on the pole at the previous race.
So lights are out on the roof of the safety car, indicating that he is going to come in, and it'll be down to Mortara to pace them and restart this race, Andrew.
Yep. So a bit blue smoke. Did someone just hit the brakes there? A puff of smoke came up. There is Mortara, the only man to win for Audi last season. Edo Mortara. There you see the more cars peeling off, and strategies perhaps changing now because of this yellow flag period, and I wonder if this will become a timed race.
So it was Pascal Wehrlein, I think, that disappeared into the pit lane, Andrew. Behind the safety car is Ekstrom, look, having a go on Spengler. And once again, they're absolutely side by side. Bit of panel rubbing, Andrew, but Ekstrom has gone through.
Yeah, Ekstrom gone through and past Spengler. Nice to see Eki up there at the front again. And Prio still right in there, look, right behind Bruno Spengler, those two BMWs together. And then about Alberto Merri, the number 4 car, having his best DTM race thus far. Alberto in his 2nd season now. There's Paffett. And Paffett there right up behind his old adversary and former teammate Jamie Green. See Green and Paffett starting to pick off a few places.
Paffett dives to the outside of Jamie Green there.
Yep.
Really trying to move up this order, isn't he? And desperately needs to, Andrew. We saw one of the pit stops that Paffett made was a nightmare. He's had a drive-through for a jump start. There he goes. We can see him from on board. Oh, so easy to lose out.
Taylor and Tambe almost dipped through, didn't he? You see the wing. Of course, we've got all this DRS going on as well. There is Paffett.
Bounce their way along this straight.
With all these cars so close, most of them have got the DRS deployed.
Oh, Green goes out very wide.
Green goes out wide, slides the tail out, doesn't catch the barrier though.
Well, in that little manoeuvre, Green lost 3 places, Andrew.
Yeah, well, that's how tight it is in the DTM, particularly around the Norris Ring. It's a historic racetrack in southern Germany. The sun shining down today. Timo Glock.
12 at the moment for Timo.
Yeah, chasing after the silvery car of Albuquerque. Is Paffett, look.
And Jamie just carried too much speed there, couldn't scrub it off, could he?
Tambe went with him and went past the sliding man from Leicester, though he now lives in Monaco.
So Mortara from Wickens, Ekstrom and Spengler. And now next in Ekstrom's sights, Andrew, is going to be Robert Wickens. And Ekstrom really on a charge here.
Yeah, this is the old Ekstrom, the championship winning Ekstrom. We haven't seen much of this in the last couple of years, and I guess Robert can use a DRS here because he's right behind Doug. The only one that can't use the DRS is that man in front. And he's desperately trying to break the toe and get 2 seconds. And look at that! Good move then.
Yep.
And Ekstrom is on the big charge then. And he has passed the pole sitter, Rob Wickens. And amazingly, and we didn't expect this, we've got Audis in first and second places.
So Mortara and Ekstrom. Brilliant move from Ekstrom on Robert Wickens. And clearly the rallycrossing giving Ekstrom some renewed vigour, if you like.
Yeah, 2004 and 2000 DTM champion. Got 17 wins in the book. We haven't had one for a while.
See Paffett back there in P14 behind Mike Rockefeller, and we go on board with Mike Rockefeller now. Closing in on Albuquerque and Glock ahead of him. And just at the back of that pack, you can see at the centre of your screen now is the Euronics Mercedes of Gary Paffett.
It's all action around here, isn't it? They come so close to the walls. We haven't seen any of those wing mirrors go flying yet. We probably will in the next few laps or two. And Hand up there doing a good job in 9th place.
So at the front of the pack, we come back then.
Paffett, remember, can go to the finish because he's done 3 pit stops actually.
Yes.
Not sure if he's got the tyre to do it, but he doesn't have to stop unless the tyres give him trouble. Obviously, we saw that mistake with his pit stop. The second pit stop, I just wonder if that was a clever strategy.
Perhaps so. Perhaps so.
He started on the option, so he's definitely run both tyres. So if he's got a decent set of these regular standards on, he can probably go the whole distance. Now, at the moment, Gary Paffett is about, I think, only about 10 seconds away from the leader because we've had these pace cars, everybody's closed up.
Yep.
Look, don't discount Gary Paffett from this.
So we see the 1, 2, 3, 4 on screen. Race being led by Mortara then, and the hard-charging Matthias Ekstrom in P2, having disposed of Robert Wickens in some style just a couple of laps ago. He's charging now towards Mortara. What's the gap? 6/10, Andrew, between those two.
Yep.
Mention Andy Prio, who's holding fast in 5. Doing well, Andy Prio. P5 for him. Farfus is in.
Yeah, the Brazilian. Been a winner in both his seasons in the DTM. Off he goes. Just looking at the people that are not on the options. How many? What about Albuquerque? Albuquerque is on the options. Has made. Just looking who has made. Yeah, Rocky is on the option, but made 2 stops. I think he'll have to settle. So, Rocky. Now the big question is, will those options go to the end? Because Rocky is the highest place of the people who have made 2 stops.
Yeah.
And we need to watch him and his times and lap times compared with those of Paffett. He's also made 2 pit stops, and Paffett's just a fraction faster than him at the moment. So one of these intriguing races, Dave. Lots of clever strategies being played out at the moment.
Well, we've still got a long way to go in this race.
We have, you see, you look, and from Mortara, who's in the lead, down to People like Jamie Green, that's only about 14-15 seconds. And they are all that close. To a degree, the DRS almost discount because virtually everybody can use it.
Because everyone is
apart
so
from
close.
the man who's in the lead.
Yeah.
Because everybody's so close together.
Timo Glock going through on Whitman.
Yeah, Glock through Whitman.
And Rockefeller, well, he needs to move up, doesn't he?
No, well, Rockefeller has made his two stops.
But the further he can get up the
road...
road...
absolutely, yes. I mean, he's in a virtual race with Gary Paffett at the moment.
Absolutely.
It's quite a quick pit stop here. I think it's only about 21 seconds in tyres and out. But so many people within 21 seconds. So, yeah, this could be a race with a barnstorming start. Gary Paffett, despite all the problems.
So Merry now on Andy Priaulx, tries to go the long way around the outside of that hairpin. That didn't work for him. We can see there is Andy Priaulx, who's P5 at the moment. Roberto Merry right behind in the Thomas Sabo Mercedes. Let's see that again as he charged around the outside here. It's a long way round, and Priaulx got the perfect line through there and was never going to be troubled by that. In fact, Merry getting it locked up and wrong. We can see it from that angle, which we couldn't from overhead. Has just locked up and whale-tailed that car a little bit. Is Marco Whitman
and look
Rockefeller.
Look at Rockefeller now chasing after the stripy BMW of Marco Whitman, but the teenage youngest man ever in DTM doing an outstanding job here. Whitman, Rockefeller in 11th place. Rockefeller and Paffett trading times, but on the different tyres. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So finally this race has got a rhythm to it, but we've also got these strategies being played out. Paffett getting that drive through, but was lucky with the safety cars. That helped him. And then inspired call there to do the two quick pit stops together.
So we just saw Paffett then up the inside of Albuquerque, Andrew.
Yep, Paffett moves up onto the tail of Rocky. Is Merry going past Priaulx this time. This is the best DTM race we've seen from the young man, Roberto.
Well, Merry, he made a Mercedes-sized gap there, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
So through on Andy Priaulx. Priaulx now in P6.
And Han still doing an excellent job from near the back of the grid, look. Han in 7th place at the moment. And will have raced on quite a lot of the street circuits in America. And look at Paffett.
Just a little nudge there on Whitman.
No, it's Whitman going to the pits, though.
Right.
So Whitman makes his second stop.
So you've been keeping an eye on the times. Mortara and Ekstrom, Andrew, pretty evenly matched?
Oh, yes, pretty evenly matched. Mortara is doing a 48.7 last time round. Ekstrom just dropped a 1/10 of a second that lap. He's looking at the splits as well. And Mortara's certainly got some pace here. But Gary Paffett is only 14 seconds behind the leader. The leader has to make a stop and Gary doesn't.
Roberto Merry then into the pits.
Here's Roberto Merry. The sponsorship from Thomas Sabo, local company. And there is your leader at the moment, Mortara. I think Han might have just nipped past Priaulx, unseen by us.
So there is Robert Wickens going through And Bruno Spengler down there in P3 and 4. As the camera zooms in on Mike Rockenfeller.
Wondering if Spengler will go back on the options for his final stint. A lot of racing to go yet, Dave. We're now near halfway through yet. See there, that's showing the difference between the leader and Rockenfeller in 9th place. And it's less than it takes to do a pit stop.
Yeah.
Just to re-emphasise this, everyone, that Gary Paffett and Mike Rockenfeller have both made their 2 mandatory pit stops. Paffett's actually made a 3rd, which was a drive-through penalty. 21 under investigation, that's Whitman.
So Rockenfeller on the back of Timo Glock at the moment. Rocket turn on the back of Prio.
Well, that Merc seems to have a little bit more speed, doesn't it, than the Audi.
You can see Rockenfeller now really on Timo Glock.
So Hand, that's a surprise. Hand right up there.
Rocky dives up the inside.
Yeah, with Paffett going with him.
Yes.
And Paffett tries to get past Glock, but doesn't quite do it. So the former Toyota and Marussia driver, Timo Glock, has served time in the IndyCar Series as well, out in America. Right in the mix here. Right place at the moment.
And now Paffett does go through.
There you can see the people have made 2 stops on those lights. It's an excellent graphic we've got for you. And I get the impression that Paffett will close on Rocky. Nice cleanly past Glock. Down to that hairpin again, right down to about 30 miles an hour there.
So in P7, Andy Prio is the one that we can see through the windscreen of Mike Rockenfeller's car right now, through the S's.
Ernst Moser from the Phoenix team. We're talking to Mike Rockenfeller, and Rocky just poked his nose out to see if he can get past Prio. And then he does, he goes right down the inside. And what about Paffett? Is Paffett going to go with him as well down at the late hairpin? No, he doesn't.
So some brilliant driving from Mike Rockenfeller. And now Paffett taking a look at Andy Prio. Hanging on the outside at the moment. We'll try and undercut now. Just can't get the traction down.
And Prio will fight as much as he can here. But no, Paffett has got the car under him for that. And Paffett goes through and Prio goes back down the order. Now to 9th place. Those grandstands actually full with sunburned people. Glock goes back another place as Albuquerque in the silver car goes past him.
And Juncadella as well, I think.
Yeah, Juncadella in the red Mercedes. Glock suddenly going backwards. And then Molina in the Audi with the football competition emblazoned over it. And Glock, well, getting a bit physical there. There's Juncadella. Juncadella, who never won in Formula 3 round here. Well, he did actually stand on the top of the podium once, but then he was disqualified from that race.
Oh.
Juncadella going through. Oh, bang! Glock. Did Glock hit the wall as well? Well, I'd like to see that from another angle. We're going to.
Don't think so.
was quite a bang, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Not sure what Stewards will make of that. Well, Timo Glock certainly getting stuck in. Cadella drops back now behind that Audi of Molina.
So, just a reminder to you that those on track on 2 stops that have already been served are Rockenfeller now P7 and Gary Paffett P8, both done there.
Both done, but on different tyres.
Yeah.
And the big question mark is for Rocky, will those options last to the end? And we're only halfway through, just over halfway through. That's the big question here. Who the Schuller S, which I only found out at lunchtime was named after this ice cream company, who've got their sign all over that huge, great grandstand. Originally built for the Nazi Party rallies of the mid-1930s. So much history around this place. Plenty of motor racing history here also. Still more on the loss of this circuit. Pedro Rodriguez, the great sports car and Formula 1 driver, Mexican. He was killed here in a Ferrari. But, they've had a very good record round here by and large, as we see Prio now hanging on to fellow Brit.
Well, Prio is under some pressure now from Albuquerque, isn't he?
Yeah.
There's Rocky going through, Gary Paffett. And as you say, these two both having done 2 stops, but both on different tyres, and it's the longevity, isn't it, of the options that Rockenfeller is on.
Well, that absolutely. Rocky just put in a lap of 49.5. They're going slower than Mortara at the moment. Mortara also on the options. And what about Gary Paffett? Gary Paffett at the moment on 49.3. So a bit slower than the leader at the moment. All this will pan out as the race runs into its second half. Tara, Ekstrom, and then Wickens. Let's not forget Rob Wickens. So there's a mirror going.
Said it would happen.
Yeah. There's another one. Cadella is hanging there just by a wire. Now this is. If I'm reading this race, well, yeah.
Bit of a nerf there from Albuquerque on Prio.
Yeah, but Prio's hung in there. Well, Prio's used to nerfing from the World Touring Car Championship.
Yes.
There's plenty of that. We've got almost twice as much horsepower on these cars, I think.
And now, Paffett on Rockenfeller. Look at that. What an outstanding move, Andrew.
Yeah, we're using the DRS as well there to great effect. And, well, Moses talking to Rocky. And, well, if I'm reading this right, Dave, this could be the de facto battle for the lead.
And, of course, we're sure that Paffett's tyres could run to the end, aren't we?
Yeah, we're told they will.
So set that up perfectly.
Yeah, but just see how much extra speed they carry when they've got that DRS going. You see, Rocky didn't have anybody 2 seconds in front of him, did he?
No, so he couldn't use it.
No, couldn't use it.
But, of course, he can use it now to come back.
Again, Glock's having a go at Prio. Prio dropped back to 10th place. Fighting with his teammate Timo Glock. Timo, of course, in that new M-Tech team that BMW set up. Ernest Nors, former Formula One man, worked at Red Bull for a while. Set that new team up over the winter. Was running him and Marco Whitman. Talking with Whitman.
Yeah.
There he is. At the moment, on this race, Audi just can't seem to win. They have won it in the past, a long time ago with Laurent Aiello in an Audi TT, which was a non-factory car. It's the last time that They won here, and that was way back in 2001. This track has remained unchanged for very many years, and there you see, there is the gap now between Mortara and Paffett, and that's pretty key.
That,
well, 20...
Pit time, you reckon?
Well, it all
in,
depends
out?
on how quick the pit stop is. The Vector, I think, is 21, 22 seconds-ish.
Whitman gets past Farfus then, and Prio has been into the pits and comes back out again, but there is we're on board with Augusto Farfus, who Whitman has just got by. These are the on-track leaders, Mortara, who is leading Ekstrom in second place. Both of them on the same tyres, neither of them having taken 2 stops.
Arno Jensen there from the Rosberg team, talking with Edo Mortara. And Ekstrom still charging hard, look. Lap times again. Mortara last lap, 48.78, and just a new one comes up, 48.9. And Gary Paffett, 49.3. So Gary maybe just nursing those tyres a little bit.
Yeah.
But this is going to be a close one when everyone's through those 2 pit stops and they're all on the final tyre they're going to have. And I think it could be very, very close.
Well, we've got, what, 34 laps left to run.
Yeah.
In this DTM race here at the Norris Ring. And there is Gary Paffett. Both he and the car behind, Mark Rockenfeller, have taken their 2 mandatory pit stops. We think that Paffett's on the tyres that will run him to the end of the race. We don't think that's the case with Rockenfeller.
We don't think so, but it's
it
possible.
Might be. Yep.
Yep.
So the Euronics car of Gary Paffett then on track down there in P7. We're on board with Mike Rockenfeller, P8. But this car and the car in front, both having taken the 2 mandatory pit stops as they give us a driver's eye view around this Norris Ring circuit here.
At the moment, Merry is just the fastest man out there. Just did a very quick first sector. So how many have we got? Well, the first 6 haven't stopped, have they, at the moment? And there the gap between Mortara and Paffett, 22.68 seconds. Well, it's going to be close.
Yeah.
Because remember that when Mortara comes out, he's going to be on fresh rubber.
Yes.
Gary is not. So all these things have to be factored in. There is Mortara. The Playboy logo on the front. Broke his DTM duck spectacularly last year in Austria. Went off the next day to sit a marketing and economics exam. Never did hear the result. I think he must have passed it. I saw him at the Audi function last night. I meant to ask him. Let's do that next time. Probably got a first. I don't know if they have first in Swiss universities. But
well.
So still, let's wave the flag a bit for our Californian friend Joey Hand. His manager Calvin Fish here this weekend to spur him on. 7 car.
Investigation. Spengler in now.
So yeah, Spengler in. How quick is this stop? And Rich Schnitzer. And it's 3.1 seconds. It'll be interesting to check out Spengler's lap time. Spengler.
Wickens.
And Wickens comes in. On 5th spot. Remember, Mercedes only running the 6 cars this year rather than the 8. BMW running 8. Last year they ran 6. Announcements this very weekend about the regulations between this, the proposed Grand Am Sprint Series, and the Super GT in Japan. They will all have the same regulations in 2017, and that bringing together the regs been put back a year actually, so it wasn't going to be 2016. It's still not clear exactly what will happen with that American series. So they slot through the Schuller S.
This is Spengler on Tombay. Spengler with a superior traction out of that hairpin.
Spengler on that lap as he came in, he lost 18 seconds.
18.
18, but that, remember the pit lane is split on 2 separate laps, so we'll have to see what his next lap is to see completely what sort of vector is working out here. I think there's no question of doubt it's going to be a barnstorming finish, and Gary Paffett is going to be in the middle of it. And now up in the top 3, Tara, Ekstrom and Hand yet to make their stops. Glock hasn't made a second stop. Everyone else that's in the race has. So interesting to see what happens with those 3. It'll be key to see where Tara comes out in front or behind Paffett, or he comes out between Paffett and Rockenfeller. So Rob Wickens goes down there and passes Merry. Still the temperatures up if you're in old money in the high 80s here. Very hot summer's day. Had rain here in the past, but no sign of any today, thank goodness. Tara doing a great job, you know, he's putting in good laps all the time, flat 49s, and really has got his head down, Mortara, lapping just that bit quicker than Ekstrom, and also doing some very handy laps, 49 1s, 49 2s. Tara, he's much more experienced teammate, Ekstrom on his tail. Mortara, remember, coming out of the F3 Euro Series where he was the champion, had a couple of years in the DTM, always gone well. Remember, Ado Mortara at the Macau track where there's a lot of close walls. In fact, he's had 4 wins there, a couple of different categories. Still there's that struggle there, which we think will be quite probably for a podium place.
So of those still to stop, Mortara, Ekstrom, Hand
and Werner,
the top 4 on the track.
Yeah.
Also still to stop, Albuquerque and Glock.
Yeah, there's a big gap, of course, between Ekstrom and Hand. There's some 17 seconds between second and third places at the moment. And Werner's right on the back of Hand. And what about Andy Prio? He's down there in 17th place now. Tara. Got a bit of lapping going on now. Goes through front 2, Dave, matching each sector, fraction of a second to fraction of a second.
Yeah.
And one of the Audi new boys against one of the real old boys. Doing this over 10 years, Ekstrom, but seems to be reinvigorated by his Rallycross adventures.
Yep. So now
the gap, you see, because Mortara has got his head down so well in doing in that stream of quick laps. Could be enough for Mortara to make the stop and still lead. Having said that, Ecky's crew are going to do a great stop as well. Got two different sets of crew here.
And of course, the point that you made, that when they do eventually stop, they're going to come out on much fresher rubber than Paffett and Rockenfeller.
Yeah, remember Mortara driving for the Team Rosberg prepared cars. It's Rocky for Team Phoenix. Ekstrom for the Abt team. You see Gary's pace has dropped off a bit now. Those tyres wearing away. He's lapping in 49.6. And Mortara's taking half a second out of him a lap.
Yeah.
Brave strategy. Got to remember that didn't see it on the watch, so Gary probably lost 4 or 5 seconds, didn't he, in that bungled pit stop.
Yes, it wasn't a clean one by any means, was it?
Plus, we had the situation of him being adjudged to jump the start. It's not really gone his way. There was a bit of a damage limitation, but still a pretty effective one. He goes onto those paving stones. Cadella going with him. Cadella got his best result in the DTM last race. And the young Spaniard seems to have settled in well. Reigns trusted Mercedes AMG, HWA. And just get the feeling that Gary's not got too much tyre left under him, really. Got 20 laps, just over 20 laps to go. And look at Rocky pressing hard now.
Yes.
And Ekstrom had a little look at going through and tries to accelerate, out-accelerate Mortara, and they're two are side by side. I think this is going to be Ekstrom going in front, indeed he does. And he goes into the Schuller S in the lead in front of Mortara. Are we seeing a huge resurgence here from Matthias Ekstrom?
Well, that was a good move set up, Andrew.
Yeah, it was.
And Ekstrom it is now.
Again, with those two, we don't know how those tyres are performing. They don't seem to have dropped off much.
No.
Just looking at their lap times. Still doing the 49.1s, 49.2s on those well-used option tyres now. He really set that up nicely, didn't he, Ecky? He'll be 35 in a few days' time. From Falun in Sweden originally, now lives by Lake Constance. And look at this gaggle here.
Cadella has got past Rockenfeller.
Yep.
We didn't see that because we were watching the other action, but Cadella has got past Mike Rockenfeller, so now...
Yeah, I think I can give maybe Gary a little bit of a breathing space now.
Maybe so. Let's see
this might be the cue. Oh, there we are. Oh, nice move. Could be the cue for a pit stop coming up. There's David Coulthard and Susie Wolf in the pits, racing in the DTM here last year. Susie Wolf gets to drive a Williams Formula 1 car at the Young Driver Test at Silverstone this Thursday, Friday. I think it's Friday she's driving, and Gary Paffett will get a run in a McLaren, as he had many times before as their main test driver. There's Jamie Green in trouble.
Yes, he is.
Any dream of a 5th win? Well, it went a long time ago, but Jamie Green limping here. Keep out of the way of the others and limp it back to the pits. So Ekstrom, Mortara, Hand, Werner, Paffett, Juncadella, Rockenfeller, Albuquerque, Vitoris and Glock is the top 10. Rob Wickens, who started from pole, is now in 11th. From Merry and Spengler, who's down there in 13th. His strategy not working out so well.
27.6. Just looking at the time between Matthias Ekstrom and Gary Paffett.
Yeah, that should be enough for Ekstrom to come in, remain in the lead, and Audi finally going to get a victory here, just down the road from the Ingolstadt factory. Yeah, the Red Bull car of Ekstrom. Again, looking at the lap times. And seeing that Paffett is on lapping in 49.6 as Wehrlein's car is pushed away. So another retirement on this hot day.
And there is the Jamie Green car.
So I think we've only got 18 left.
So there is Matthias Ekstrom.
Ekstrom and Mortara are both really making these options last, and Hand also.
Yeah. With the yeses goes Ekstrom.
Look at Hand. He's right there with them. It's a different shot of Gary Paffett going through. Della Rockenfeller. Sounds like a song to you. So Earth, Wind and Fire, they played a little short set in the paddock earlier on.
Yes,
certainly enjoyed rock and roll there, but plenty of rock and roll on the racetrack here with Ekstrom and Mortara and Hand. When will they finally make their second pit stop here? And who will be the first to do so?
Well, it's a pit stop that can't afford to be bungled, Andrew, isn't it? It's got to be spot on.
Well, Ekstrom and Mortara are still getting good lap times out of these tyres.
There was this question over the longevity of these tyres, wasn't there?
Well, nobody really knew. And
no.
When we came into this, Hankook said, well, we think they will go a long way. There's some lapping going on. We don't see much of that in the DTM, do we?
No.
In 13th place, goes a lap down.
So 13 laps remain.
Yeah, I think the big question mark was how would they last in this this heat. These track temperatures almost 40 degrees centigrade. Yeah. And the answer is very well. I mean, you've got to congratulate the Korean company Hankook on the job they've done.
So Hand has been in for his second stop. We just see him coming out of the pit lane now, Andrew. Where does he filter back in?
Hand's right there behind. Down at the hairpin again. Yeah, that Hand has resumed. 11th place.
There is Gary Paffett then.
Paffett is now lapping quicker than Ekstrom or Mortara.
Rockefeller here.
Goes back in front of Juncadella.
And Vitoris.
Vitoris goes through with him.
Vitoris having a go at Rockefeller now. They go very nearly 3 abreast there.
Remember, this is for 4th spot on the racetrack at the moment.
So Vitoris with a charge, Andrew.
Yeah, having another good race. He's won round here in the past, twice in Formula 3, 2 successive years. Christian Vitoris. Having an excellent season. Forward with Rockefeller. There is Ekstrom, those extraordinary lights in front of that Audi. Flash of flame from the side exhaust of the V8 470 horsepower motor. The gap now to Paffett is a comfortable 29.
Yeah. And just 9 laps left to run, Andrew.
This is looking so good for Audi now. Not many people would have put money on Matthias Ekstrom on this hot day here in southern Germany.
We see
Rockefeller, yeah, replay
going through. So Vitoris flying now. And Juncadella going past 2.
That's Moser again. Ekstrom, remember, started from the 9th spot. Race. Stamps his authority back into the Audi team. Always a pleasant, cheerful chap. Matthias Ekstrom in the Red Bull car then, in the lead, and still able to do these 49.1 second laps on these now extremely well used tyres. Mortara pretty well able to match him, and all the time Paffett losing some pace to them. Vitoris in the 4th spot, Juncadella 5th. Wickens the pole sitter, now in 6th, then it's Rockefeller, then it's Merry, and then the best of the BMWs down in 9th place now, and hand up his little moment of glory up there in the top 3, drops to 10th. Farfus lead lap by Paffett.
And now just look at that gap, up to 30 between Ekstrom and Paffett, Andrew, so there's some comfort there, isn't there?
Yeah, there's plenty of comfort there.
And in comes Mortara.
Yep. The big question is, where is Mortara going to come back into the field? But he's driven well again, Mortara. Sort of resigned look about the Mercedes crew there.
Not a blistering stop, Andrew.
No, it wasn't, was it? From,
now, there's
Rosberg.
Mortara, there's Paffett.
Yeah, and Paffett will go past him, surely, will he? Has he got the speed? Must have, yeah. Down into the hairpin. And, well, Mortara giving a little bit of resistance, but
now, of course,
futile, really.
Mortara's going to be on fresher rubber, isn't he, Andrew?
Yeah, he is.
You've said that Paffett's lap times are going the wrong way because it's very worn rubber.
His last lap was 49.5. Will be interesting to see, won't it?
So 5 left to run.
Still got Ekstrom to make his pit stop.
Well, Paffett at the moment showing Mortara a clean pair of heels, isn't he?
Yep. Ekstrom is in the pit. Here he comes. Light flashing. Feels painfully slow. Just want to get in there, get those tyres on. Nice clean stop. And the apt organisation got to get this right. Straight there with the gun. Got the tyre on. Best part 12 people. And out it goes. And where's he going to come? This is going to be exciting. This is going to be fun. And he's going to come out in front of Gary Paffett. And there he goes. What a drive from Gary Paffett, really. Jump start. If it hadn't been for that jump start, of course, and the penalty, he would have been right up there, not in front. He's managed to stay in front of Mortara.
Yes, he has. So it's going to be a tense final 4 laps, isn't it? Ekstrom, all being well, isn't going to be troubled, is he? Mortara now beginning to look.
And did I see Wickens in front of Vitoris?
Yep.
Wickens just past Vitoris. Cadella. Rocky, who led for such a while, in 7th place. Merry. Spengler in hand. No more pit stops. And Ekstrom left it to the very last.
Mortara and Paffett come together, Andrew.
Oh, and Paffett's just going to go diving straight on.
Oh,
what happened there?
Well, Mortara was looking for a move around Paffett and just came together. We'll get a replay of that in just a moment.
Yeah. Paffett's behind Torres.
Paffett's
now
got damage. Is he going to be able to keep that? There you can
and
see.
Look at the damage on Mortara's as well. And Wickens going to go through on the inside of him. Torres is trying to get past him as well.
So just a couple of laps left to run. Here it is, Andrew.
Oh, right into the back of him. Just left his braking too late. Rear-ended the man now lives in East Anglia, and most of the parts flying off were coming from Mortara's car. Mistake by Mortara, absolutely.
Paffett still seemingly able to keep that car going.
Yeah, the big hands will be working well at the steering wheel now.
Well,
meanwhile, Ekstrom's got a lead of 5 seconds.
So Vitoris now. And Paffett is having a go at Mortara, and he's going to get past him.
Oh, goodness me!
He was
turned in front, rubbing against him, and that was all ended in disaster for both of them.
Oh my goodness me.
The explosive end to this race.
Gary absolutely, clearly fueled with fury.
Yeah. Gave him the nudge, and they both came off badly. Yellow flag. This will finish under the pace car. There's Mortara out, and smoking is the car. Ekstrom just continue to the flag.
So Ekstrom, Wickens, Vitoris. You're right, it's going to finish under the yellow. Well,
Gary Paffett waving his finger, but
he was going to have him.
Yeah,
Andrew.
Retribution, but Retribution didn't help, and Ekstrom stops immediately, passes the flag.
Well, they're having words.
Yeah, they're having words. And Audi finally win here after that long drought of a decade. Right on home soil.
What a dramatic conclusion, Andrew.
Brilliant race by Ekstrom. Yeah, that clash at the end, that'll be talked about for a long time. Well, I just got the feeling that Gary was giving him a bit of payback, but it didn't work, did it? Because in the end, you know, he was past him.
Yes.
And he would have got a good result.
Yeah,
Tara.
And Gary needs those points.
Yeah, he needs those points. Gary marching along there. So, let's do the order. Ekstrom, Wickens, Vitoris, Juncadella, Rockenfeller, Spengler, then Merry, Hand, Priaulx got in the top. Now let's look at this.
Here it is again, Andrew. Here it is again. Now, he was just taking him in the wall, wasn't he?
Yeah. What was the point of that?
See it from here. See if we see it differently. Maybe.
Well, you know, was he just understeering too much that he couldn't turn it?
And again. I'm not sure.
You hit me up the back, he said.
Well,
what did you do that for? And then bang. Now we can hear from the head of DTM at Audi, Dieter Gas, with their win after 10 years.
The win after 10 years, now you improved a fantastic weekend, so now a win from Audi. How is your feeling? It must be a big smile in your face.
Oh yes, absolutely. I mean, it's fantastic. Eki did a fantastic race, but as well, Edo, I think it was a shame what happened there at the very end. I think we have to look at that. It was a shame for Gary and for Edo at the end of the day, but obviously for us, we are delighted with Matthias' victory and with Rocky coming to P5. It's just fantastic.
Will there be a big celebration tonight?
I think there will be a celebration today, yeah, no shadow of a doubt.
Okay, back to you guys with a smiling Dieter Gas and Audi team.
Absolutely, and let's not forget, Ekstrom, there he is. Started in 9th place. Changed engineers over the winter. Well, what a couple of weeks it's been for him. The X Games success, then Rallycross, and there the stricken Mercedes-Benz, and bits of carbon fibre being picked off the track. And a sad sight indeed. And you know, Gary drove a great race. He got that big whack up the back from this car here of Mortara. You can see all the damage it did.
And this is going to be replayed so many times, isn't it?
Yeah. Had Gary got enough vision to know that he was squeezing him to the wall? Well, was he understeering too much, or was it just pure retribution? Those are the questions we have to ask.
He was, well, he was on a charge to get back to him, Andrew, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And the irony is he was past him.
He was past him.
And he needs points, and I'm surprised by that. However, Ekstrom, Wickens, Vitoris.
And of course, a good second place for Rob Wickens. Started from the pole. And what's broken up the Mercedes-Benz 25th DTM celebrations a little bit, hasn't it?
As a little.
Audi did have their own moment of glory earlier on when Tom Christensen, before the race here, demonstrated the R18 e-tron, the Le Mans, not actually the Le Mans winning car, as far as I know. I think it might have been one of the sister machines. And, well, the interviews start now.
Here then, confirmation of the finish to that race. Matthias Ekstrom taking the win, then Robert Wickens, P2. Third, Christian Vitoris, then Juncadella, Rockenfeller, Spengler, Merry, Joey Hand.
And we can hear from Rob Wickens, I believe.
Congrats Congratulations, Robert, pole setter, and you finished second. So I think probably Norris Ring is one of your favorite tracks. Last year you got your first points, and today second. Are you happy about the second place? Tell me honestly.
I am, yeah. I mean, you know, it was a crazy race with safety cars, and you know, I didn't really know where we were. And with a few laps, I think when I did my second stop, I was in like 14th or something, and I was like, kept on asking, has everyone else made their pit stops? You know, I wasn't sure, and you know, sure enough, yeah, I had some overtaking to do at the end, and yeah, the last 5 laps were crazy. I didn't really know where I was going to finish. It's a pity for Gary. I haven't seen what happened. I just saw his car parked, but I think I can get a good idea of what happened because Mortara was driving pretty slowly. So, but yeah, anyway, happy for me. Best career finish, second, and yeah, now I just have to improve one more spot.
Okay, see you next time at Moscow. Have a good time. Back to you guys.
Thanks very much. Did I see Gary just walk behind him when that interview started?
Didn't see.
The Audi flags are flying high then. The 3 manufacturers all having a great battle here, but Audi coming out top today after all those disappointments over the seasons. And mastering all that, another good performance by Vitoris.
Yeah.
Who has had a very solid season. There's Eki as he came out of the car. Whoop, he nearly had his own accident.
And clearly delighted Dr. Wolfgang Ulrich.
Yeah, not a great race, of course, for BMW here today, with the Spengler, the best BMW finisher, in 6th place. Remember, Tomczyk was second a year ago. Here's the points then. Rockenfeller still hangs on at the top of the table at 69. Spengler's on 67. Vitoris is on 55. Pappet on 47. Ekstrom on 45. And Wickens on 45. So only, that's only a 20-point gap between that first 5 or 6.
Just looking at our screen, Andrew.
Yeah. Car number 11 under investigation. Ekstrom, what for? Are we going to have another cliffhanger here?
So that literally just pumped onto our screen in front of us that car number 11, which is the car of the winner, Matthias Ekstrom, under investigation. Tell you more.
Is that for stopping straight after the start-finish line? She did. And we had that race a few years ago at Lauschitz Ring, where Gary Paffett had no fuel left in the tank. They couldn't take the sample. The win was taken away from him.
Right. There's a distraught
Edo.
Yeah.
Mortara. Well, he made that mistake, didn't he? And I think if Gary Paffett hadn't been whacked up the rear end like that, then the rest of it wouldn't have kicked off, whatever.
Well,
whether it was deliberate by Gary, whether it wasn't. Bert Schneider's seen a few of these races over the years, just having a discussion there with his former teammate Bruno, and then Jens Marquardt with the obviously disappointed Spengler. And Jürgen App there.
Well, we're behind the podium, and
yeah. Now we can hear from Bruno Spengler, as we just said, the best BMW driver.
Bruno, you're the best BMW driver, but for sure you're with P6 not that happy.
No, it's definitely a very disappointing day for me, for us. I was second in the race and then got stuck behind Robert Wickens, and I was a little bit alone, you know, in front there. So some cars played a few tricks over me to slow me down for a long time, and I guess we couldn't do anything else with the strategy. And when I came out of the pits and after the second pit stop, I was just far behind. And from there on, I understood that it was difficult to be on the podium. But I carried on pushing, overtook Robert Mary before the end. So yeah, this was my fun at the end of the race. But you know, it's not a good result at all. It's not over. You know, we still score points. But it seems this year that it's sometimes a little bit better to start from the back than to start from the front. So we'll see what comes up in the next races.
What a crazy weekend. Thanks, Bruno. Back to you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Bruno. There's Dr. Ulrich. So be a little while before we find out what this is all about, Dave. Wickens in discussion there. Another young driver in Vitoris. Both with good single-seater successes behind him. Vitoris a winner in GP2. Robert Wickens a champion in Renault 3.5. And well, here he comes. He's going to stand on the top step of the podium. Takes his cap off. Been a good day for Sweden. Had a win by Rosenqvist, didn't we?
Yep.
In the Formula 3 earlier this morning. We've heard the Swedish national anthem once.
And they're joining the party on the podium, Christian Vitoris.
Mercedes-Benz flags wave for them. And Jürgen Apps will go up to receive the Manufacturers Award, head of App Sport. Very busy organisation. Cue the music. So the cheers ring out here, Dave, for excellent win by Matthias Ekstrom. Been on the top step of the podium for, just checking it out.
So Dr. Stefan Kolbel makes the presentation to Matthias Ekstrom, loving every moment of it. And the Bavarian Minister of State, Dr. Markus Söder, presents the Constructors' Trophy. Mr. On there. Presents to Robert Wickens and the Lord Mayor of Nuremberg.
Yeah, Dr. Ulrich May, apparently.
No further information we can bring you from our screens at the moment. The last update was that car 11 under investigation. That's it. No more than that.
His last win came in 2011, if I remember correctly. The golden bottle. They don't look too concerned, do they?
No,
and,
no, they don't.
Hans-Jürgen App would have been told by now, I think, if it was something really bad. So off to the press conference, which is a little way away in the ice hockey stadium. Taking them 4 or 5 minutes to get there. Well, a memorable race here at the Norris Ring. Always seems to deliver great events. And last year we had Jamie Green snatching the victory on the very last corner. This year, two of the top protagonists tangling just in sight of the flag. Oh, that wasn't very nice. A spurt of the bubbly. And now we can hear from Eki.
Matthias, you wrote history for Audi. It's the win after 2002 here, and I think your win after Valencia 2011. You smile from one year to the other one. How happy are you?
Yeah, I think it's for sure the best win in my DTM career, because here the first win wasn't as exciting because that was coming a little easier. Here I've been trying so many years. 13 times I've been here and never won, and now it looks like the 13th time was the lucky one, and I mean in the end to win in front of Audi friends here, home race, and also such a great weather, great atmosphere, full of spectators. So I'm really, really happy, not only for myself, but also for my guys, for Florian and the whole team that is behind me, and Audi Sport also. We all push our best all the time, and sometimes it doesn't pay off, but today it did, and for this I'm very happy.
Was your rally experience, the rallycross driving the last weeks, a good preparation?
I think so, because I had a really great time with the guys from Marklund Motorsport, and for sure gave me a lot of, I would say, new perspectives to racing and motorsport, because these guys, they're a bit younger in the sport, and they gave me a real big kick to get back on the mental route again. So look forward to more races now, and but first some days in time to enjoy.
Have a lovely day, and we follow your story about rallycross driving. Back to you guys.
Yeah, thanks very much. And the Florian that was mentioned there was Florian Modlinger. He's a new engineer for this year, who took over from Alexander Stoic. And well, here's some of the action, Dave, but it was full of it.
Yes, it was. Whichever way you look, there was something going on, and there you can see the Pascal Wehrlein sandwich then.
But we can hear from Christian Vittoris.
Christian, you're not looking so happy. It's the third time you're on the podium this season with the DTM. Normally the Norris Ring is not your favorite track, so what about today?
It's still not. I like the atmosphere here. It's like probably the highlight which we have in the season. But just the track I don't like so much. But obviously in the past few years I always was successful here. I always got podiums and victories. So obviously I'm looking forward to coming here always. This race was just, I don't know how to describe it. It was just awesome. I was like on every position during the race. At the beginning of the race I had 4 or 5 pit stops. I totally lost the overview, but my team did a fantastic job to push me through the race. And yeah, I still can't believe it that we are on the podium, because we were like last by far.
You were not the only one who lost the orientation. Robert said the same, but congratulations for your third place, and looking forward to Moscow. Back to you guys.
Yeah, thanks very much. And just had a very interesting email from Mark Blundell, who was watching the race on television, the former IndyCar winner, Champ Car winner, and Formula One driver, now manager. And he's saying that the way that Edo came out the corner, there was really nothing much that Gary could do about it. He's fairly putting the blame on Edo, really.
Well,
and you know, now having seen it 2 or 3 times, I tend to agree with that. You know, in the heat of the moment, we thought maybe it was retribution, but I think now probably going with Mark. I haven't to say that Mark, of course, is part of the management team of Gary Paffett, so you know he obviously got the vested interest, but you know, he's got a lot of racing experience. What is certain, it wouldn't have happened if Edo hadn't have come diving down too hard on the brakes and whacked the Mercedes up the backside.
You're absolutely right. Well, we'll see it again in just a couple of moments, I'm sure.
We will, yeah.
We look at some of the highlights then, and there were lots of highlights in the race. Full of drama, full of action, full of overtaking, that's for sure.
See, Mark says the exit path of Gary is clean with no movement, but Edo comes off the exit with lock turned on, driving into the channel of Gary. Hence why Gary's car gets turned round in front of Edo.
Which it does, to be fair. And I have to say, when you and I looked at it from the many angles that we got shown in slow-mo and replay, I think we saw it perhaps differently to what we originally thought. But we'll be taking a look at it again in a moment.
Certainly a very open championship this year, Dave, isn't it?
Well,
with
yes, it is. And that was Mattias Ekström then. Getting into the lead, Andrew.
Yeah, that was a good move. He certainly got more speed in the car at this point, didn't he? I think it's also
different angle.
Yeah.
So Norbert Haug, David Coulthard and Susie Wolf watching on, and that was Jamie Green grinding to a halt.
Yeah, we didn't find out what that was about.
So the Norris Ring master, as wasn't in any way, shape or form today.
No, but maybe he'll come back.
Of course. So that was Edo Mortara rejoining after his final pit stop. And now from here on in, Andrew, we'll see it.
Well, this is where it all got a bit physical. The other thing, when you think about it, Dave, is that Mortara didn't seem that angry with Gary, did he?
No.
You know, he didn't wave it, and I know he's racing under an Italian racing license. Here's the incident. It hit him really hard. And Gary did a good job to get back to him. Reaction from the crew.
And now we build up towards
this explosive end to their race. Yeah, well, that wasn't the angle really to look at it.
No.
That's the first angle we saw.
Where it did look. Well,
I think it'll be debated for some time to come.
I think you're right. And that was Mattias Ekström taking the checkered flag, and you're right, Andrew, stopping the car, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, we don't see the... Oh, here's the... Yeah, it was only a little bit of that, but I mean... Mortara, as I said, you know, he's not really Italian, he's Swiss. And French-speaking Swiss at that. And, you know, he didn't do a lot of remonstrating with Gary, did he?
No.
So maybe he's feeling that, well, it was one of those racing things. And we had these gymnastics from Eki winning his first DTM race since Valencia 2011. There he is with a piece of paper in his hand. I'm not sure what that's about.
Well,
They wouldn't give him the...
No, I was going to say, it wouldn't be him that gets the...
You know, make sure you sing the national anthem along with the lady.
Maybe so. Here are the words, in case you've forgotten. There's still no further news on our screen. It's...
We might, of course, get something from the press conference. Ricky Rickard will be there, and he's a pretty good old news hound.
Yeah.
Shot there of the old town. So we are in the south of Germany here. We've had this hot day, and track temperatures are still now at 41, 42 degrees. Well, you know, the DTM is a popular series, and one of the reasons is you get explosive and fantastic racing like that. And of course it was mixed up quite a bit by the different strategies. We were able to predict Paffett coming through there. I mean, from the very start, I mean, you know, what a turbulent race for him. So unlucky, I think, to get the penalty at the start.
Yes.
I mean, I watched it.
But it wasn't until
He did move before others, but did he beat the lights?
Until you and I saw it in slow-mo, we questioned it. It was right. But actually, he got absolutely no advantage because he, I think you're right, he then bogged down, didn't he? So, yes, it's... well,
then he went on to that very clever strategy of 2 stops. And then, of course, he had the drama with the HWA crew fumbling that pit stop. I probably lost him 3 or 4 because that hadn't happened. Either of those things that happened, he would have been in the front.
Yeah.
Assuming they'd gone on that special 2 quick pit stop strategy.
Well, as you say,
you know, things are not just, you know, for my money, he's the fastest man out there this year, Gary Paffett, and things just can't go in his way. He had the situation at Hockenheim where he was given a penalty which was not deserved. And
well, some more lovely shots. And now you can see the, well, really rather unique circuit that this Norris Ring is, where we are situated. And the drivers having to make their way from the track to the press conference, which, as Andrew said just a while ago, held in the ice hockey stadium. And there the lake.
yeah, just another quick text from Mark Blundell saying if Gary had made a mistake, he would have put his hands up to it. Well, unfortunately, I haven't been able to speak to him yet. And there's that Grundig Stadium. I believe Grundig are based in this, this city. And the running track there. And then those strange block houses that go all the way around this rallying ground. And there the lake. Some of the BMW drivers had a publicity stunt. I think I might have been on Thursday with them having a pedalo race. Not sure who won it. And do you know what? I don't care either. But it is a great venue. We sat by the side of that lake yesterday, and great Audi barbecue and very hungry mosquitoes as well.
Yes.
We've got the bites to prove it. Although, you know, this is the professionalism of Audi that came round with an anti-bug spray to all the guests.
Yes.
So, pretty good.
And it's a very disparate paddock situation here, Andrew, isn't it?
Well, the paddocks are all over the show. The DTM cars on the temporary pits. And then the other race series scattered around the show. Just by the side of the lake, almost in the middle of your picture, as we see it now, is most of the Formula 3, and some of the Formula 3 down by those trees. And then the Volkswagen Sirocco Cup races. We had another win by the young South African Van der Linde yesterday. Made it 3 in a row. Calvin Van der Linde, I believe he's just just turned 17 years old. I believe that he's on a plane and he will be in school tomorrow morning.
Yes,
in Johannesburg.
That's what we were told, wasn't it?
Oh
Yep.
dear. That's the life of a racing driver for you. Got to tell you what, Ekstrom won't be in school. Getting ready for his 35th birthday just coming up in a couple of days' time. Some quite nice vintage cars here, or as they call them in America, various classic cars. But meanwhile, finally, the boys have made it over to the press conference, and we're going to be hearing from them with Ricky asking all the questions in just a moment.
So, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome from my side here to the press conference after the race, DTM season 2013, race number 5 here at the Norris Ring. Congratulating at first the winner today, Mattias Ekström in an Audi for the 18th time winning a DTM race at his 35th birthday he's got today. So there's a lot to celebrate. On his left, the second place today, Robert Wickens, Mercedes-Benz. Third place, Christian Vitoris, also Mercedes-Benz. And the best place, BMW driver. Coming in 6th today, Bruno Spengler. Hello, guys, and first of all, thank you to a really thrilling race. Mattias, and you made it at the end. How proud are you of yourself that it happened, and also on your birthday?
For sure, it's being here at Norris Ring and in the DTM for so long. I mean, I think I've been trying here since 2001 to win the race, and I came close very often. And I mean, when you come to the home track of Audi year after year, it's always a little bit of pressure to perform well for everybody, not only for me, to the whole team. And as Mercedes have been dominating the place since a long, long time, we are aware that it's not so easy to beat them. But yesterday and during qualifying, I felt I had some mistakes on my side and did not really do the best. But I knew that we had a good car for the race. But also I have to say the lack of the safety car came out in the right moment, which meant the guys starting with options were a little bit destroyed their strategy. So the luck played a little bit in our hands on the one side, but you also had in account that it could come a safety car. So for sure, everything played really well that we would have a chance, but still the car was very quick, and I just saw the quickest race lap. I was 200 away from this guy, so we were quick enough as well. We had some luck, but this you need to win.
Is it a special victory concerning the fact that you broke this really long winning streak of an opponent?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like nearly forever since I won last time. I mean, the victory in Munich last year didn't give any points. It was not a real one. And it's the first victory for me in the RS5, in the new DTM on a real track. So for sure, it's a nice feeling. And I mean, it's just to enjoy the moment. And it's also a bit of a relief for the guys who have been working so hard for a long time, and also to get payday one day in the Norris Ring with the victory is probably the best you can do.
There was one strange picture to see in the TV broadcast, someone putting a bottle of water onto your overall and pouring it into the overall. Did you recognize that this happened, or?
I recognized after a while it was cold on my leg, but I don't know exactly why it happened and why it should be like this, but definitely, I'm pretty happy to be at the Parc Fermé as the winner, and I mean, to celebrate the win, everybody can do in their own way, and I still have to say I'm really happy to be in the top, and hopefully we are back in the press conference more often than today.
No, I'm just asking because, you know, Parc Fermé rules and incidents and stuff like that. This might maybe cause a little anger for you, I don't know, but I just had to ask it because we saw it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the rules and the guys who are here, they are here to make their job. I am here to make my job, and on the track today, I think we showed that we were competitive and we did the best we possibly can. So I feel that some races in my career, I might haven't won the best way, some I have lost in a way, but this victory means a lot to me because I felt on the track we were doing a good job from start to finish.
You did a thrilling job. Thank you very much, Matthias. Moving over to Robert, second place. You started from pole, coming in second place, the best result of your DTM career. I think there's a hell lot of pride inside of you.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it was a bit of a mixed race with 2 safety cars. The first one wasn't that big of a deal because, yeah, you know, with the pit window and stuff, it was just lap 1. But the second one definitely changed our strategy a lot. And you know, the team did a great job to adjust the strategy and to run the rest of the race. And I didn't really know what to think going into my final stint when I saw on my pit board that I was, I think, P14 with 14 laps remaining. And I came on the radio and I was like, I hope other people have to pit because, you know, it's going to be difficult. And yeah, of course, some did, but had to make a couple overtakings on track. So it was a hard-fought second, you know, and congratulations to Matthias. And furthermore, congratulations to Mercedes to have, yeah, I think it was four cars in the points today. 3, 4? 4 cars in the points. So it's, yeah, I mean, we didn't get the win today, and it's a pity what happened to Gary late in the race, but it's, yeah, you know, there's still light at the end of the tunnel, and from my side, I'm really happy with my best career finish.
You just said it. You started from P1, you found yourself on P14, you ended up in P2. How much of a mess was this race because of those 2 safety cars that were coming out, and did you always know where you were in the race?
I mean, I saw my position on the pit board, but I didn't know, you know, from my side, I just wanted to focus on doing the best job that I could, and I kept on asking for information, getting kind of like a targeted lap time to people who were on the same tire as me at that time, just so I can get a rough idea of how my performance level was, you know, because after the second safety car, I was on the prime, and Matthias and Matara were on the option, and they were pulling away from me, and I was trying as hard as I could to stay with them the best that I could, and then I noticed that I was also starting to pull away from Bruno a little bit, and I knew that Bruno was on the same tire as me, so I thought at that time that he was my main competition, really, and I wasn't sure at the end of the race how it would cycle through with the 2 Audis up front and myself, and yeah, DTM's a competitive championship, and of course in the final stint it was really close. I mean, Eki obviously did a very good job to make the gap that he did after his final stop, but yeah, the fight for the podium was really tough.
Thank you very much, Robert. Congratulations also to Christian Vittoris for the 3rd time this season, coming in 3rd place. Very nice Sunday for you as well, I think.
Yeah, after a bad Saturday, obviously had a problem in qualifying and couldn't show what we had in the car. But yeah, good race. I totally had no idea where I am during the race, especially after safety car. I think we pitted 4 or 5 times. So at the beginning of the race, I was a bit unhappy with the strategy, but at the end it paid out. It worked out. The team did a good job at the end, sending me out on the option tires again, where I then had a really good pace and went up the order. At the end, there was like a lot of mess going on the track. Everybody struggled with their cars, with braking and with tires. And yeah, I still don't know really what I should think about the race. I let it settle down and see later.
It was a really hard race concerning also the heat. It was over 30 degrees Celsius. How hot was it in the car, and how often did you wish you had some air conditioning in the car?
To be honest, it wasn't that hard. I expected it much harder because we knew from the beginning on that my drink system will not work. So I expected a tough race, but I think at the end it wasn't really. The safety car probably helped to calm down a bit again, but physically it wasn't a problem.
Thank you very much, Christian. Moving over to Bruno, coming in 6th place as the best BMW driver. How good can you live with that result? Because we know you were diving on your engine cover for a few times here in Norrisring, and now 6th. Little disappointment? Question mark.
It is a big disappointment, actually, to be very honest. I think our performance was actually over the whole weekend quite good. We had a good qualifying yesterday. We showed the hard work that the team has done in between the 2 races, and my guys have been really good on pit stops again today. But I just think we have been unlucky, to be very honest, during that race, because I still don't understand how I can start 2nd and finish 6th. But you know, I have to look at the race again and understand everything. And it's difficult right after the race to know why some people started from far behind and end up in front. And it's a bit difficult to have an overview. But anyway, it's a disappointing result. As I said, I think we had in the race a pretty good potential, and I've been stuck a little bit in traffic at some occasions, and that costed me also some time. So with the safety cars and everything, I think you had to be a little bit lucky today. Also, you had to hit the right spot to stop, and you had to try some crazy things. Also, like Christian said, to get you the chance maybe to get a lot of points. So, a sixth place is better than no points at all. And if I look at the championship, it's still all right, but it's a disappointment for today because Norris Ring is my favorite track, and I've been a lot on podiums here, and I've been winning a lot here, and I love being here. I love seeing the people and the atmosphere, and winning here is something special. So I'm disappointed tonight. Yeah.
When I think about your answer you just gave me, was it more or less like a lottery today, or?
Well, it's not only a lottery because the guys who are in front are also the good guys, but. You had to be lucky also because I said 2 safety cars and there was a lot of things happening during the race, and but I think for the outside it was a very good show because a lot of things happened, a lot of overtakings, and I think that's very positive. And for my side, I think there's not too much positive to take from that race, just a little bit of points, and then we see now the next race is a surprise, Moscow.
But Bruno Spengler still is in championship contention, so is Matthias as well. Do you think about that now, having 45 points, only 24 behind the leader? Do you think about something like that at that stage of the season, or does that matter now? Doesn't that matter now?
Really, today it doesn't really matter. I have to say, I mean, Mike have been doing a really good job the whole season, as well as Bruno. I mean, the key to success here is to be up front all the time, and if you look on the results, the guys are, say like this, not happy with where they end, but I know it can be way worse. So still there are 5 races to go, and I know I will take nothing for granted. I want to go to every race weekend and do my best and then see where we end up, because I think there will be no strategy like flat out every weekend in my situation. For sure they can play the leader smarter, but I can't. So to catch up, you have to pass. Like today, I had to pass Bruno. For sure, he was not amused for some moments, but it's a part of the game. When you have to catch up, you're in a different situation as when you have to defend.
Just a last question, quick answer. How heavy will the party be tonight?
Actually, I feel so tired. I'm not sure how big the party will be, but I will at least drink something with the guys because I think they deserve it. I will for sure enjoy it, with or without alcohol, doesn't really matter. I'm just happy to sit here.
Okay, thank you very much, Matthias. We close out this press conference as we always do in native languages, statements.
So there we are, an explosive race here at the Norris Ring. We saw again, wow, this is one of the great venues of the DTM, a very specialist venue, a very different venue. And we saw a cracking race today with lots of different strategies. And in the end, Ekstrom coming back on his birthday to win his first race for a couple of years or so. And a good performance from Wickens as well. But we certainly enjoyed it from me, Andrew Marriott, and also from Dave Richardson. It's a big goodbye, and we'll leave the last word yet again to Yves Scheer.
What a crazy and unforgettable race day here at the Norris Ring. 5 winners in 5 races, so everything is still open in the standings. The championship is really unpredictable. We do have Mike Rockenfeller now in the lead. Bruno Spengler is just 2 points behind, and Christian Vittorius is now on 3rd position, so all 3 brands are in the standings in front. So actually, I'm really looking forward to the next race. This will be in Moscow, a new track, so everything is open.